Hi everybody. So after yesterday's lesson, today we're going to continue talking about imagery, and we're going to look at some imagery in the Breadwinner. So let's remember what imagery is. Imagery is the use of language appealing to one or more of the five senses. Or another way of putting it is imagery is words or descriptions an author uses to help you understand how something smells, sounds, looks, feels, and tastes. So let's look at this text from the Breadwinner. Now on my text, it's page 24 to 25. And on the side, what I've done is I've just put a little guide. So sight is going to be yellow, taste is going to be pink, sound is going to be green, touch is going to be blue, and smell is going to be purple. And what do I mean when I say that they're going to be these colors? We're going to mark the text. So let's think about sight. Is there anything in this text that perhaps makes us think about how something looks? So the sense of sight. Well, this is a terrible scene in the story, and this is where the soldiers come and they take father away. And there's a lot of imagery in here. But I think that one thing that I noticed about sight is when Nuria covered herself completely with her chador and scrunched herself into a small ball. I'm going to highlight that yellow because I get this image, this visual image in my mind of her scrunching herself into a small ball. Okay, so that's an example of imagery appealing to the sense of sight. So it helps me understand how something looks. I think this is a great passage for sound, so I'm going to get my green pen out. And there's an awful lot of sound. It's not very nice sound, but there's the slam of the door against the wall. He screamed, so there's that sound there. But then there's an awful lot of language. There's shrieking, okay? And there's a lot of shouting. There's here the soldiers grabbed her father and kicked the remains of dinner all over the mat. I have a feeling that made a sound, so I'm actually going to do that. I can kind of imagine the sound. There's more screaming there. Up here, the soldiers were yelling, and there's an awful lot of sound imagery there. So there's probably even more. Actually, here's another horrible one. One of the soldiers raised his rifle and whacked her on the head. I can almost hear the sound of the rifle against her head. So that appeals to my sense of sound, and it does help me understand how something sounds, okay? Very loud scene, very loud scene. Let's think about, if anything here, anything appeals to the sense of touch at all. So appeals to feeling. Apart from the horrible violence, I can get some ideas of feeling here. I can see that she sat as if frozen at the edge of the supper cloth. I'm thinking that the frozen might be her feeling terribly, terribly scared. I can almost feel myself how she would be scared. So that can be something. I hear this action when she flung her arms around his waist. She's hugging her father as he's being taken away. You can feel the emotions, but you can also feel the arms around his waist as he's being dragged away. So I think that description, the author has used that to help us understand how something feels, and it's pretty sad. Okay, I just missed something terrible though here. Another very, very visual one that appeals to our sense of sight, so that tells us what something might look like, is this here. When one of the soldiers hit the father on the face and blood from his nose dripped onto his white shalwar kameez, that is a very strong visual image. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight that in yellow because that helps me understand what it looks like there. Okay, let's look at another page. Here later on, this is when they've come back from the prison, and we have mother who's very, very depressed and sad, and the house or the hut, the room is not in great shape. Um, just as a reminder, we know that smell is, sorry about that, a purple color. And unfortunately, things were getting a little out of hand in the hut, and the room began to smell too, because of dirty diapers. So the little boy's dirty diapers were piled in a heap in the washroom. The little window didn't open very far. No breeze could get into the room to blow the stink away. These words have been used to help us understand how something smells. So it appeals to our sense of smell. So I've highlighted that in purple. Okay, so there's a lot more here. I haven't found anything for taste, but we've done sight, we've done sound, touch, and smell. So that's one idea of how you can annotate a text, and that's one idea or one approach towards analyzing and understanding imagery in a text. Bye for now.